Hello, and welcome to the Voyager website site walkthrough. This walkthrough is intended for people who have received their new, custom-built Voyager website and are ready to get started with editing. Its purpose is to get you up and running in the editor as quickly as possible. Once you finish this helpful video, contact us and let us know that you've seen and understood its contents. After that, we'll send you an email which will allow you to create credentials to log in, and then you can start the process of personalizing your site. As always, feel free to contact us at agentsupport@voyagertravelguides.com or by calling 904-404-8521. First, let's have a look at some of our resources. Our resources are available at content.voyagerwebsites.com. It is a good idea to bookmark this site on your browser as it provides access to nearly all the different components of Voyager websites, as seen here in these boxes, or in this drop-down menu. You have access to the site editor by clicking the link labeled Site Editor, which is here. We will return to that in a moment. And you have access to the Impact Marketing System, shown here. Underneath Help, you'll find all the different resources we've assembled to help you with our content library, website, impact marketing, and social media manager. There are 4 resources in particular that we're going to show you right now. All of them are actually located in this top left box in the content library. First, documentation. To view the documentation, click View Documentation. The page it takes you to is an extremely helpful site full of guides for using the site editor. You can see from some of the titles on this front page, how do I add text to a site, change font, add or manage page, create a blog post, that this page has a lot of very useful information. You can also search for a specific topic. Let's say you wanted to know more about using images. In the results, you can see useful guides like How can I upload images? And Uploading multiple images. The guides feature text and images which walk you through simple steps of how to exactly use the site editor. The second resource is the webinars. You can see here at the bottom of the documentation box, Voyager webinars. Voyager holds about 2 training webinars every month. The topics of these webinars, generally speaking, go over the aspects of your site or online presence. These tend to be longer form videos, usually between 30 to 45 minutes in length, but they go over the topic with a lot more detail than a guide or tutorial video, which we will look at later in this video. You can see from the titles here, Entering Site Content, Impact Marketing Introduction, Search Engine Optimization, that these webinars cover a broad topic with a lot of detail. Finally, we have the pages for Voyager Widgets how-to videos and Website Builder how-to videos. These pages are set up the same way. They both contain a group of videos that were all made in-house. They walk you through using different aspects of the program. This page, Voyager Widgets How-To Videos, specifically contains videos which give you information about the widgets and other content which Voyager provides. You can see these include content like a brochure rack, travel articles, travel videos, travel specials, and much more. These videos tend to be a little shorter, about 5 to 10 minutes in length, and provide a concise and quick overview about using a specific piece of content. Now let's take a look at the Website Builder Elements how-to videos. This page is similar to the last, only this page covers using the site editor to customize your site. As you can see, it deals more with subjects like pages, blog, images, contact forms, and so on. Once again, these are about 5 to 10 minutes. They are good for a quick overview of how to use elements when adding the content on your page. Those are the 4 resources that we think are particularly useful as you start the process of editing your site. Remember, you can find more resources at the top under the Help tab, or you could always contact us by email or phone if you have a question. Now we're going to take a look at using the site editor. This is one of our example sites, alphatravelgroup.com. This is something like what your site will look like when we give it to you. The only difference being that your site will probably be on the live preview domain as something like alphatravelgroup.voyagerwebsites.com. Your site can be moved to your personal domain at any point in the future. Hopefully, you've been able to peruse the site already, and you already know some changes you might want to make, or perhaps something you have a question about. Once you have your site credentials, you'll be able to get to the site editor by clicking Site Editor and then logging in. Once you log in, or if you've already logged in, you'll see your site listed under My Sites. You can click Edit to be taken to the site editor, or Stats to see different statistics about your site. The best part about the site editor is that it looks similar to the site itself, making it easier to see what your changes look like as you change them. As you can see, this is the editor screen. It looks the same as the site, but with extra information along the left and top of the screen. To navigate around the site editor, you can click a tab on the navigation bar on the top of the website. Along the left column is displayed the tools you'll use to edit your site. These tools are different on each tab, here, on the very top of the page. These are the build tools. These are the pages. These are options regarding theme, and so on. Your site is comprised of different elements. As I hover over the different elements on the page, you should see a thin blue line surrounding the element. This blue line is denoting where each element is placed and how much space it takes up on the page. Add and removing elements is simple. The build elements will appear when the Build tab is selected on the top. The first 8 elements on the left side are offered specifically by Voyager. They are elements you can use to enhance your site. You'll notice FAQ, price chart, simple table, and other elements. The 10 elements below these, labeled Basic, are the ones you'll probably use more often than all the other elements. About 90% of your site will consist of title, text, and images. These are the building blocks of most content. To add an element, you just click on it and drag it onto the page. Notice where I drag it onto the page, there is a blue thin line. This blue line is where the element will be placed on the page. Simply let go when you want to place the element. For most elements, editing the element is as simple as clicking on the element, then typing or selecting different options. For text elements, you have a black formatting bar which lets you format the text with bold, italics, and so on. You can also change the font size. If you want to remove an element, simply click the X on the very top right of the element and click Delete. While elements like text can be edited by simply clicking and typing, different elements have other options which you can find by clicking on them. You can find out more about the options for given elements like images, buttons, or videos by reading the documentation or watching the specific tutorial video related to that element. To move elements around, hover over the element you would like to move, and then click the little bar with 8 dots in it. along the top of the element. You can now drag the element like you would when adding a new element to the page. One important aspect of the site editor to remember is the way it saves the changes you've made. There are no save or load buttons. Instead, changes that you make are saved as you go. This text I've just added to the editor is saved as soon as I've added it. If I log out of the editor and then log back in again and return to the page I was just looking at, the text will still be there. This is important because it means that the editor remembers any changes you make, including removing items from your page, as soon as you make the change. Note that this does not mean changes you make immediately go live on the site. You have to publish first, which we will look at a little bit later. But that does mean if you remove something accidentally, you won't be able to get it back. There is no undo button. You would have to add the element again and re-enter all information and options. That being said, there are options for making your site a little easier if you do want to play around with different pages and elements. To do this, we're going to head over to the Pages tab on the very top. When you click Pages, you'll see all the different pages your site has along the left side of the screen. You can change the order of the pages by clicking and dragging them to the desired position. Changes to the order are reflected on the navigation bar of your site. If you want to edit a page, but also want a version of that page to be saved, you can use the copy function of the page. After you select the page to be copied, click the copy button. An exact replica of that page will be added. We recommend that you hide the page in navigation so that it's completely invisible to people visiting your site. You can also change the page name so you'll be able to recognize it as a copy. Now, you can make all the changes you want to the original page while having a backup that you can use if you make an unwanted change. When you've made changes to the editor and would like to see them reflected on your site, all you have to do is click the Publish button at the top right of the screen. Publishing your site will make any changes you've made to the site editor and make them live on the site. That about covers the basic parts of using the site editor for your new Voyager site. Once you have your site credentials, you'll be able to get to the site editor by clicking Site Editor and then logging in. Once you log in, or if you've already logged in, you'll see your site listed under My Sites. You can click Edit to be taken to the site editor, or Stats to see different statistics about your site. Once you finish this video, contact us to tell us you have watched this video and understand everything you've seen. Also, let us know if you have any questions about using your Voyager site. If you ever do have any questions, contact us at agentsupport@voyagertravelguides.com or by calling 904-404-8521.